I'm Dr. Angela McBrearty of DoctorFlute.com, and today's video is on the Woodify Ring. Today's video is sponsored by Flute Center of New York, who sent me this beautiful professional model Haynes flute that has soldered tone holes, gold springs, and is silver. It's such a gorgeous instrument. I love playing on it. If you're interested in doing a flute trial with Flute Center of New York, or just purchasing music or some of their accessories, go to Flute Center of New York. And if you have a flute trial, you can use my code DRFLUTE, and with that code you'll get free shipping, a 10-day trial instead of a 7-day trial, and you'll get an 18-month warranty instead of a 12-month warranty. You get 10% off of music as well. Unlike the Lafrique that attaches and it's supposed to touch both the head joint and the body, the Woodify Ring only goes on your head joint. So we can put it on. When I put this on, I'm going to take the head joint off and attach it on there. Now, I can tell you a couple things that are supposed to come with this, and this is what it's supposed to do for you. So the Woodify Ring dampens disturbing vibrations, and that because of that it minimizes the loss of energy in your air column. So that's what the flute maker or the Woodify Ring maker says that this is going to do for you. So the result of that is supposed to be a fuller and richer tone quality. So I'm really anxious to see if that's in fact the case. Your tone is supposed to be more focused and have a larger dynamic range because of that. You can affect the different ranges a little bit, your low register and your high. So if you put it closer to the body, it's supposed to give you a bigger low register. And if you move it up to the, he moved it up just a little bit. It's not like you put it up here, but you move it up a little bit and it gives you a better upper register. So it depends on where you like to hear it. So let me just play a little bit on this flute without it. I just love the way it sounds. Just playing on it, I think it's a beautiful instrument. That's about my forte in the low register. I'm putting a little air in my cheeks to get a really good loud upper register and soft. All right, let's hear what happens when I attach this cherry wood Woodify Ring. So I've attached this, and later on I'll show you how to attach it. It's very easy by just undoing the screw a little bit, slipping your head joint in, and then you can tighten it up a bit. So I have it, I think from watching the maker's video, I have it a little bit closer to the low register. So I'm going to try it and see what I think. Let's see if you hear anything. I'm going to play a little bit that I played at the beginning of this video, the Devian Flute Concerto. I think it's E minor. Interesting. I hear a difference. I'm not positive that I think it was astounding, but I hear a difference, and I think I need to play around with this just a little bit more. Let me play a little low register. I definitely feel like it's brighter. It's a brighter sound. I'm not sure it's the richer sound that I'm looking for most of the time. All right, let's see what would happen if I moved this up a little bit and see, does that change my third octave? It's not blowing me away, but I have a couple different ones to try. This is cherry wood. Maybe that's not. I do hear a difference though. I do feel like this does, I felt like it focused. Okay, so he says it should focus your sound. I feel like it focused my sound. It took out a little bit of an airy edge that I felt was on it, and that focus was definitely there. Let me see if it does anything now that I moved it a little higher. You know, I hear that. Do you hear that? It made my upper register maybe a little bit darker. So the lower register I felt like had a little bit brighter of a sound, and this higher register, it definitely is dampening something. And so maybe we have to play around with this to get used to that feeling, because it feels different to have those vibrations dampened. It's not the same feeling going through my instrument, so, and what my ear is used to hearing. So let's play a little bit more. I think I'm going to put it sort of a middle of the road spot, which is somewhere here, at least. So I'm going by what I see the maker is doing, and here he seems to have it about there. Let's see. Because I'm doing staccato because he says it should help your staccato be more focused. I think it really does. Yeah, I hear that. I think it's getting used to the dampening. I guess you don't realize how much you will know the feeling of those vibrations going through your instrument, and to not have that, it's hard to then focus only on what is it doing for me, and not on, I don't feel and hear those vibrations the same. So this is the cherry wood. Now I have two other ones that I want to try and see what do they do. I definitely hear a difference in this, and I wondered if you do. That focus sound is totally different. The Whatify took out the probably the outer reaches, the outer edges of this tone, and is giving me only that pure sound. So I hear that. All right, let me try a different Woodify ring. So here's my sound again. I wanted to reestablish what my sound is on this instrument before I put the Walnut Woodify ring on. So now let me put that on. So I've attached the Walnut Woodify ring here, and now I'm going to tighten it up a little bit. They say to just tighten it up. You put your thumb on the back here, and I can tighten it and put it sort of that middle spot that I saw the maker put it in. All right, let me play. Wow, I really hear a difference in that one. Do you hear that? I can tell the dampening of the extra vibrations, and it's darkening my tone a little bit. Now, for me, I feel like my tone is on the brighter side, so I like something that gives me a little bit of a darker sound, and I feel like, I don't know if it's that it's walnut, it's a darker wood, whatever the vibrations do with walnut, that's happening for me here. Wow, this one does do it for me. This is the wow factor for me. It's enough, and these are not terribly expensive. So that's giving me a little bit of that darker edge and a more focused tone for somewhere in that $100 range, a little more or so, depending on the economy at the time. But it's really actually very well priced for something that can do that much for your tone. All right, I have one more to show for you. All right, the third one that I have is a Beech Wood ring. Let's hear this one. Wow, I hear a difference. Definitely hear a difference between all three of them. This one is totally different from, say, that walnut one that I just had. I feel like this one makes my tone a little bit smaller, but a little bit edgier. I kind of like that little bit edgy sound. What I think is most astounding about all of these is that focus, that it just takes away something in those vibrations, whatever that's doing, to make your tone have a little bit too much air at the sides. You know, I always think of my tone as a center, and then it dissipates as it goes out, and that, you know, I'm not a scientist, so don't take this as a scientific thing. But in my head, I think of this as taking away some of those edges and leaving me with just the core. You know, sometimes we struggle a little bit with staccato in the low register and having a little bit of a delay or not quite as much focus. I feel like with this, you're definitely focused immediately, that just your low register speaks amazingly. So, yeah. I think this does exactly what the maker says that it does. It's giving you a more focused tone. It's dampening some of those vibrations. You have, it speaks easier on your staccatos. I didn't, you know, really move it lower or move it higher to work on low register, or does it, you know, help my higher register? But it's there, and it probably would. You know, I guess if I were using one, I would put it in sort of this middle spot so that it was equal in both my registers. I think if I were to choose right now, the walnut is definitely the one that I feel like gives me what I'm looking for in my tone. But you can decide that too. What do you think? Did you like the sound of one of these rings over the other? It definitely changes your tone. And for somewhere in the $100 range, $115, $120, you know, it's not bad to help change your tone. It's not the thousands you would spend on a entirely new head joint, or even Le Freaks, which are you know, have their own benefit. They have their own benefit, but they're a couple $100 depending on which ones you get. So they're a winner. I think definitely that they improve your tone, and in all the ways that the maker says. So if you want to improve your tone, go to Flute Center in New York and get one of these Woodify rings. You'll be glad you did.